All right, let's have Lana introduce her guest today. Lana Torre is with us. It's her week to share the microphone here at Property Source Radio.
Oh, good morning, and I'll trust me, I will not talk about fannies, okay?
Sure.
He's only thinking fannies because he's on a diet.
Yeah. Wow.
He's got fanny on the mind, but I'm so very happy to have as my guest today, Greg Messner of Messner Carpet in Pittsford. And I've known Greg and have done business with the family for, how many years, Greg? Oh my gosh.
Many years.
Many years.
Good years. Good years, that is.
I think Greg was in high school. Were you in high school then?
Could have been in 78. That was when I graduated.
So Messner Carpet is located in Pittsford. And actually, it's a beautiful, is the building historic?
It was built in 1960. It was the original Pittsford Post Office, built in 1960 at the time. And we purchased it over about 17 years ago, updated. We have achieved on getting a new look. People used to come by our store and say, oh, isn't this the post office? And isn't this the that and that? But it is now a floor covering store, a complete, no signs of the post office.
Oh, it is absolutely a beautiful building. And I remember, doing my business at that building for so many years. But tell us about the history of the Messner family, because I know you've been in business for such a long time.
Well, the history of the business goes back to my father, Ben, who started the business. It will be 50 years next year, and literally started it out of the back of a station wagon. Coming from a family of 9 siblings, we had 2 station wagons, and the one station wagon that my father had the carpet samples. He would get a call in the morning from his installer, and from there the day started with basically commercial jobs at the time. He had done a lot of work at St. Anne's Homes and different colleges and universities. But it started out literally in the back of a station wagon when there were only, at the time, a deck board with maybe 4 colors available.
So he had to fight with the milkman, probably the oil man, the meat guy.
And the potato chip guy, Charlie Chip.
Right.
Oh,
Gosh. Wow.
So it was definitely a different era, but it's grown through the years. And unfortunately, he passed away in 87, but I know he'd be very proud of where we are today and how things are going.
Oh, it is such a beautiful store. Absolutely right on trend with what's happening today in the carpet, in soft goods and hard goods for flooring. And I think that, Messner has established itself in the community as giving back to the community as well. Why don't you tell us about some of the things that Messner Carpet gives back to the community?
Well, through the years, we've always been involved with the youth baseball and hockey. We've been a supporter for over close to 25 years. We have team pictures up from the early 80s.
I've seen them in the store.
They're in the store, and we're at the point now where we literally have some of those 8- and 7-year-olds are actually our customers. And it's really something.
Nice.
And the parents come in and they see the pictures and they reminisce about the years gone by. But it's a great feeling. So we're involved with the community on that. We've also been involved with the local chamber since it started in 1995 with board positions, Pittsford Village Business Association through the years. We really want to be part of the community. I mean, the community has been great to us, and we just feel we should be good to them.
Greg Messner is the vice president of Messner Carpet in Pittsford. Their website is messnercarpet.com. You can find out about all the good stuff they do in the community and everything you want to know about the products and services at Messner Carpet.
What kind of trends, Lana, you touched on trends for the flooring industry. What's going on? I have no concept of what's trendy these days. Can you kind of elaborate a little bit, Greg?
Yeah, in different categories. I'll start with, say, area rugs. And area rugs are a big category of ours. We show over 300 rugs. And what's been through the years, your traditional have been popular, but now we're in more of a contemporary,
funky.
I'm going to say the word shag.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Shag, soft is really cool and big.
Okay.
People want it. The softer it is, the better it is.
Yeah.
I'm laughing because when we were teenagers, my mother recarpeted the house. We had a beautiful house out in Genesee Park Boulevard, and we were all given a rake. And we had to keep it in our closet. Do you remember those days?
I do remember those days. Our family room had a rake. I don't believe we vacuumed, so I don't know what was in that shag carpet.
Aliens.
I think so. And at the time, it was your rust and bicentennial type colors.
Yeah.
But nowadays, it's really more of a transaction. There's just different designs available. We have a collection now that you can literally pick your colors, make your own design, and it's custom. I mean, it's literally, you could put your initial on it.
How about my face?
Well, that's would be. I would give it a shot. I would give it a shot, but I would want you. I would want you to put the initial on it. Right?
Okay, all right.
We never had carpeting in my house when I was growing up. We didn't have a lot of money back when I lived in Boston, but we had rugs. Throw rugs everywhere, and it was on hardwood flooring. And I remember the first time I ever had carpet was when I bought my first condo. And I remember when I closed on the condo, I was still single, and I had all the guys up to there was no furniture in there. It just said, let's go to my condo and hang out. And I saw this bright white carpet in the, all over the house. And I said to the guys, and the best thing about this is it's my carpet because I own this condo. At which point I promptly spilled a beer on it. So that was my first carpeting experience. But, like Pat, I have no concept of what's hip in carpeting right now. I mean, what colors? Are there any?
Colors are big. As far as the white colors that we use, we're normally getting into more bold colors that make more of a fashion statement. Patterns are really cool, too.
Pattern carpeting.
Pattern carpet, but a subtle. So it might be an overall color, one color in it, but you have a design to it. Could be as subtle as a pin dot, or it could be a leafy pattern, or a very contemporary type look.
Back to your face. Yeah. Pat's face carpet.
We can work on it.
I love the contemporary looks in home flooring fashions right now. You see the, the subtle. We talked about this a couple of months ago. My favorite color, greige.
Right.
Remember grays? So how many? We do have a lot in the store, don't we? Of grays and taupes and beige and gray greens and green gray.
The colors are unbelievable. We have collections that have over 100 colors. So just imagine the spectrum from your white carpets from condos of years ago to deep blues and greens now. And the gray is making a comeback.
Yeah, gray is huge. Gray is, popular for carpet color and for paint colors as well. It's such a neutral, but the gray has to be right. I always say like banker's gray, and I spell it E-Y instead of A-Y. It just puts a little flip on
Canadian?
it.
I like that touch.
Who dictates what's hip?
To remember that.
Who dictates what's hip in color? Do you guys say, hey, these are the hip colors, or do people step up and say, you know what we want?
We go to different trade shows throughout the year. We're involved with a very large buying group.
Yeah.
And so we're connected to a national company that kind of keeps us in the loop. We read a lot of what's going on in our industry, but again, what goes on nationally sometimes is different than what might go on in the Monroe County, Rochester area.
Well, Lana had said this before, like a lot of color schemes and stuff gets decided through the world of fashion, believe it or not.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's trending on the runways and what the clothing designers are making. And gray has been a big color and neutral tones and stuff for a long, long time. It's even turning over now into like the browns, and Navajo prints are becoming really big. And, so you're going to see a lot of those, bright blues and stuff coming back. So, yeah.
Greg Messner is our guest, the vice president of Messner Carpet in Pittsford. Their website, messnercarpet.com. We have a link at propertysourceradio.com. We are Property Source Radio till 10 o'clock at Sports Radio 950 ESPN. You mentioned, Greg, your dad starting the company back in the day. Did you have to be taken kicking and screaming into the business?
Not necessarily. I have, with 9 siblings with 4 older brothers. My job when my father was active before he started the retail would be maybe to go out and vacuum maybe 300 yards of carpeting in a local church. And to say no to that is kind of tough. So we kind of all did our thing.
And there's no swearing in church
and
either.
There's no swearing, but it was good time spent vacuuming. So I learned pretty early how to vacuum, and it was a lot of fun. So we literally grew up, as some people say, with carpet fibers or whatever. But
was that part of the sales deal where you told the customer, hey, we'll vacuum your carpet for 6 years after you purchase it from us?
Well, we will vacuum the day we put it in.
Oh, okay.
We won't come back year after year, but we will vacuum the day we put it in.
Okay.
As long as their vacuum is out and handy, we'll be happy to vacuum.
How easy is it to maintain carpeting these days? Have there been advances that way? Like the story when I spilled beer on my...
As far as the beer story, I think nowadays that beer should clean up extremely well, and there should be no residue of any stain. Between the years of the Stain Master improving and through the years, the technology has improved, so it does clean up a lot better and wear better. But again, as I tell people, it's not like a coat of paint on the ceiling. You're walking on this. I mean, you're walking on it. You're enjoying it. And in most cases, people would tend to change the flooring anywhere between 7 and 10 years. Now, some people may not get to it till 20 to 30 years, but people are changing things more often, and there's so much more available to change it too. Going from carpet to hardwood now is popular, going into a tile floor, so the selection has just increased immensely in the last 20 to 30 years.
You're saying people are changing the carpeting more frequently than they used to? I mean, I'm just questioning that because it's so expensive. I don't know if I could afford to recarpet my house.
I think people are taking more, say, one room at a time. They might redo a room and turn it into, if the parents are empty nesters, redo a bedroom, turn it into a theater room. Or turn a living room into maybe an office. So I think just the way people are living now are changing.
Changing stuff up
Houses
a little
are being built smaller, so they put more investment into a one room as opposed to carpeting 300 yards of carpet throughout the house.
Yep,
And
gotcha.
don't you think that people these days are looking for, tactile? They want the carpet to be soft underfoot. They want a luxury, a feeling of luxury, a soft place.
They do. As I mentioned earlier, the soft feel is really popular in the manufacturers that we deal with. There's stuff that's so soft, and it's made of both nylon. Some are made of wool, but it's the softness that they touch it and they want it. It just makes them, it's a nice soft feel.
My husband said that about me when he met me. He said, I'm going to marry you, Lana, because you're so soft.
Really?
Didn't he say it last night at dinner?
He did. That was last week he said that.
Lana, I could take this in so many directions.
Just don't. Just don't.
We're going to take a break at that point, kind of stop and hose ourselves off. More with Lana Torre, her personal life, and we'll have more with Greg Messner from Messner Carpeting. This is Property Source Radio, Sports Radio 950 ESPN, and PropertySourceRadio.com.